Hi everybody, this is Coach David from Real Results Fitness. So today I'm going to give you a warm-up and mobility flow to start things off, and then I'm going to give you a little exercise routine, full body, that you can do at home. I'm going to demonstrate everything using a single kettlebell. If you do not own a kettlebell, you can easily replace it with something, say for example a milk jug. You can fill it with water, or you can fill it with sand and make it a little bit heavier, or anything with a loop with a handle on it that's a little bit heavy that you can use to swing around. And if you want to create a little bit more surface area to grab, you can take a towel here, for example, loop it through that handle, and then you have a little bit more of a handle to grab onto. Okay, so starting with the warm-up flow. Both feet together, hinge your hips, reach towards your heels, scoop all the way to the sky. Hinge, reach, scoop, reach. Hinge, reach, scoop, reach. You're going to do 10 of those. Then you're going to do 5 on each side, same movement pattern, except now one leg is forward, your toes are to the sky. Hinge, reach, scoop, reach. 5 one side, 5 on the other. Now, you're going to grab your toes or you're going to grab your ankles. You're going to reach down, you're going to drop your hips, and you're going to raise them up. You're going to drop your hips, you're going to raise them up. 5 of those. Then walk your hands out, step your feet back. You're in a nice high plank right here. Hinge the hips, drop them back down to high plank. Hinge the hips, drop them back down to high plank. 5 of those. Next up, you're gonna sit just like this. 190-degree angle with one knee, one with the other. You can keep your hands behind your back for an easier time, hands out in front for a harder time. You're gonna roll on your heels, flop your knees to the other side. Boom, boom, boom. Just like this, 10 total. Then, drop it into your lowest squat. Keep your heels on the ground, hands out in front for a little bit more of a counterbalance if you need it. If you're comfortable right here, hands together, pry your knees apart, count backwards from 10 as you do this. Next up, you're flat. Your arms are out to your side like a T. You're gonna roll from one side to the other, stretching, opening out your chest and your shoulders. Roll to one side, throw the feet over. Roll to the other. 10 total, 5 on each side. Next up, arms are still out like a T. Your thumbs are to the sky. You're just gonna raise your hands up. Bring those thumbs to the sky. 10 T's, then you're gonna make a Y. 10 Y's, then you're gonna make an I. 10 I's. From this point, you're pretty mobilized. Now we're gonna start activating. So, first things first, we're gonna do a plank. This isn't a normal plank. Every single muscle in your body is working. So, going back to that single object that you're using, it might not be the heaviest in the world, but you can make a lighter object feel heavier with the amount of tension that you create. It's all about tension. So this is where we're gonna start to build that tension. You're gonna go plank. When you're on your elbows, you're gonna make 2 fists. You're gonna stare between them, and you're gonna try to pull your elbows to your toes. You're gonna squeeze your butt cheeks, you're gonna squeeze your quads, you're gonna brace your abs like you're taking a punch. Every single muscle in your body's working. You're not just squeezing your abs, it's not a lazy plank. So plant, fist, pull your elbows towards your toes. And you're gonna count backwards from 3, 2, 1. Take a breath, and then start over. You're gonna do that 5 times. Now as you do that, make sure that every single muscle is working and that you're creating the maximum amount of tension. When you're in that position, make sure to just take little sips of breaths. So just go, don't take a gigantic breath because then you're gonna dump all that tension out. So that's important to remember, especially when you're at the top of your lockout, which I'm gonna demonstrate here in a little bit. Little sips of air. Anything too big, you're gonna dump all that tension out. Next up, you have 5 push-ups. I want you to emphasize that lockout, so you're not rushing through them. Go slow, come down, press up and squeeze at the top. Come down, press up, squeeze at the top. Next up, you're back up on your feet. Fingers interlaced behind the head. You're gonna stare forward. Don't look straight down. Pick a spot on the horizon to look at. Then, you're gonna brace your abs. You're gonna keep your back flat. You're gonna push your butt back, just a soft little bend in the knees. Just like these. These are called good mornings. So lift up, squeeze your butt at the top. Hinge, keep the back flat, squeeze at the top. Hinge, squeeze at the top. 5 of those. Next up, going right into it, keeping the hands where they are, squats. Drop, stand up. Drop, stand up and squeeze. Now the difference between those two movements, with that good morning, I'm hinging. My butt's going back. With that squat, I'm squatting, so my hips are going straight down. So a hinge is butt back. Squat, butt down. Keep that in mind. Okay, so now we're pretty warmed up, so let's actually get into the exercise itself. First things first, I'm gonna start with deadlifts, and this is where that maximum tension comes into play. So you're gonna line this up in between your feet, stomp your feet so that you root your heels. You never wanna come up on your toes. You are firmly rooted into the ground. This is a hinge, so push that butt back, grab that handle, however you're using it, whether it be through the towel, whether it be that single kettlebell, whatever you got. Lift, squeeze your butt at the top, brace your abs. Good way to tell if you're bracing, take one hand just on your solar plexus, one right below your belly button. Now I want you to bring your hands closer together without actually moving your hands. So that way you compact your abs. So you compact, act like you're taking a punch, so you're bracing. So if someone's gonna punch you in the stomach, you're gonna brace down to protect yourself. So you're doing that, you're squeezing your butt, you're tucking your knees, everything's tight at the top. So one more time, hinge your hips, grab your kettlebell, lift, squeeze at the top. Lift, squeeze at the top. Lift, squeeze at the top. You got 10 of those. So that's our first lower body movement. 10 deadlifts, then you're gonna take that object, pop it up. Now, if this is a really light object, this might be a little easy for you. So ways that you can make this harder. If it's really light, take that milk jug, whatever you got, hold it out in front of you. From here, 10 squats. Drop it down, lift it up. Drop it down, lift it up. If it is too hard, hold it close to your chest. Drop it down, lift it up. If you find that you're dipping forward, one way that you can remedy that is take that same object, hold it close to your head, just like this. That way it forces a little bit more core engagement. Squeeze your abs, begin the descent, and then lift up. So you have several options there, all varying in difficulty. The easiest one would be to just hold it to your chest. Second most difficult, up to your face. The hardest would be lifting it all the way out, or pressing it all the way out as you descend. So 3 options there. You have your deadlift, squeeze at the top, 10 of those, and then your squat, 10 of those, squeeze at the top. 3 rounds. Next up, we're gonna do a little upper body push and pull. That was all lower. So, first up, this is gonna be on your back. 10 is gonna be the magic number. You're gonna take that object, you're gonna lift your hips. You're gonna squeeze your butt, you're gonna brace your abs, hold this into your chest, boom, 10. 1, 2, 3. 10 of those, then you're gonna pinch that object between your hands and you're gonna go pull overs. So you're still in the same position. You're gonna drop that object behind you, tap the ground, and then pull it over. Bring it back behind you, pull it over. So it's 10 and 10. The exact motion, press, press, pull, pull. So there's your upper body push and pull. Now, let's start working our core a little bit. So that's gonna be the last thing. So first up, you're gonna take that single object that you have, you're gonna be on your back, on your butt, heels elevated, chest is raised. Whatever that object is, whether it be a kettlebell, you can grab it by the handles, milk carton, just grab the whole thing. Right here, you got Russian twist. So you're gonna rotate, back, forth, side, side. As you do that, don't rush through it. This isn't fast, this isn't about speed. You're gonna go slow, boom, boom, boom. Try to get the most out of it. This is where you're gonna need this is where you're gonna have to have your phone handy, because you're gonna need a timer for 30 seconds. So you have 30 seconds of Russian twist. Then, that next 30 seconds, put that handle down like so. You're in a high plank. This is where you need to be honest with yourself. You can widen your stance and bring your feet further apart. That way your base is more stable. Because I don't want to see this. I don't want the hips wobbling. You need to stay nice and stable. So the more narrow you are, the more unstable you are, but it's going to be harder. But if you have difficulty with that, widen that stance. Because you're going to be right here. You're going to tap, 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 tap. 30 seconds worth of that. So Russian twist, and then taps on the bell. And that's all I got for you right now. We're gonna add on to this, and we'll see you soon.